In the high-stakes world of criminal law, few cases have captured the public's imagination quite like the trial of Lyle and Eric Menendez. In August 1989, the Menendez brothers, both scions of a wealthy Southern California family, were arrested and charged with the brutal murders of their parents, Jose and Mary Menendez. The case, a complex blend of family drama, psychological intrigue, and legal maneuvering, took a dramatic turn as the trial unfolded. One of the most gripping moments in this legal spectacle was the opening statements delivered by the prosecution and the defense. These statements set the stage for what would become one of the most talked-about trials of the late 20th century. The prosecution, led by Deputy District Attorney Pamela Bozanich, took a firm stance from the very beginning. Bozanich's opening statement aimed to establish a clear narrative of cold-blooded murder driven by greed. She argued that the Menendez brothers had meticulously planned and executed the murders of their parents to gain access to their substantial inheritance. Bozanich's portrayal was stark and unequivocal. The Menendez brothers, according to her argument, were not the victims of abuse, but rather ruthless individuals who had used the pretense of familial discord to cover their tracks. To support her case, Bozanich presented a detailed account of the murders. She described the horrific nature of the crime scene, emphasizing the excessive brutality of the killings. The prosecution's narrative painted a vivid picture of the brothers' premeditated actions, asserting that their motives were purely financial. Bozanich's opening statements were designed to underscore the severity of the crime and the apparent lack of remorse displayed by the defendants. She made it clear that the prosecution would provide compelling evidence to prove that the brothers' claims of self-defense and psychological trauma were mere fabrications. In stark contrast, the defense's opening statements, delivered by Leslie Abramson, sought to humanize the Menendez brothers and present a deeply emotional counter-narrative. Abramson's strategy was to focus on the psychological and emotional abuse that the brothers had allegedly endured at the hands of their parents. She aimed to create a portrait of the defendants as victims rather than perpetrators, contending that their extreme actions were the result of years of severe abuse. Abramson introduced the concept of the battered child syndrome, arguing that the Menendez brothers had been subjected to long-term physical and psychological abuse. According to Abramson, this abuse had left them emotionally shattered and had driven them to commit the murders in a desperate bid for liberation from their tormentors. Her opening statement detailed the emotional and physical suffering the brothers had allegedly endured, setting the stage for a defense centered around the argument of diminished capacity due to severe psychological trauma. The defense also took pains to challenge the prosecution's portrayal of the crime as a mere act of greed. Abramson argued that the brothers' actions, while undeniably tragic, were not driven by financial motives, but rather by a profound sense of desperation and fear. She positioned the brothers as individuals who had been pushed to their breaking point, highlighting the psychological turmoil that they had experienced over the years.